Hi, my name is Chris, and I am the Director of Research at Drive. So today I want to take a couple minutes to talk about the important role of data cleaning in market research. So I feel that this process is often overlooked based on conversations that I've had with potential clients and in the industry, especially when it comes to DIY research. We see people that aren't spending enough time as they should be cleaning out data. But really, this is a critical step to ensure that you have high quality research insights that you can trust. So let's talk through a couple items that our team likes to look for when we review survey data. So first is the completion time analysis. So we know when somebody starts a survey, we know when they end the survey. We'll look at that overall completion time. And if it's significantly below the median time to complete the survey, we flag that case for removal. We also look at individual times throughout the survey. So how long does somebody spend on a particular page or within a section of the survey? And again, if we see an unreasonable completion time for that section, we'll potentially flag that case for removal. Next up is duplicate entry detection. So we'll take a look at the survey responses just to ensure that there's no duplicates. This can sometimes come in the form of somebody trying to stuff the ballot, might be fraudulent responses, could be a technical glitch with the survey software, but ultimately you want to keep an eye out for these duplicates by looking at digital fingerprints, IP addresses, email addresses, even looking at the individual responses just to see if two cases are very similar or if they have similar worded open-ended responses. Next up is the response pattern scrutiny. So this is where you look at things like straightlining. Straightlining is when somebody answers the same way to a series of questions, and maybe you have a whole variety of agreement statements, and if somebody says strongly agree to all of them, that's definitely something that you want to flag and potentially remove, just for not being an attentive survey respondent. Satisficing is something that we also look for with response patterns. That's where you see people consistently providing positive or agreeable answers. So certainly something to keep an eye out for as you review the data. Next up is contradictory answer checks. So this is something that you might want us to start to think about as you design your survey. Is there any questions that can be potentially contradictory in terms of how people respond? So for example, you might have a question where somebody says they have children earlier on in the survey, and then later in the survey they say they have no children. That would be a red flag. So something to keep an eye out for, something to keep in mind as you review the survey data. Next up is survey bot detection. This has become a bigger issue in the industry, especially with AI becoming more and more common. The bots are quite a bit more sophisticated than they used to be. They have unique IP addresses and varied responses, but there's still some things to look for. Again, you want to look at those digital fingerprints. You want to look for potentially unnatural submission patterns. So maybe you have 20 people disqualify for the survey in a row, and then 20 people qualify. In some cases, this is the bot trying to figure out what is the qualification criteria for the survey. And then once it's figured it out, it starts to submit all qualified responses. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out for. Definitely becoming more and more common in the industry. Lastly is AI-generated responses. Everybody nowadays has access to AI tools to generate open-ended responses. A lot of them we'll find are just copying and pasting question answers. They'll paste the question into AI and then paste the answer back into the survey. So there's some things you can do to proactively detect pasting a survey instead of organically typing it. But really what you're looking for here is responses that seem too good or too polished or too thorough. That's always a red sign, as a red flag, especially as you compare it to other responses within the survey. More and more common, and it's definitely becoming a bigger issue, so certainly something to keep an eye out for as you review survey data. So these are all things that we like to look for just to ensure that you have high quality data and ultimately high quality insights. At Drive Research, we are a full service research firm, so we do this sort of data cleaning on a daily basis for our clients. If you're interested in learning more, you can visit driveresearch.com.